Welcome back to Mythic Sleep. I am young Homer, here to guide you deeper into the rise and fall of Zeus. Tonight, we continue Series 5, Fathers and Sons. Zeus's relationships with his children, with Episode 40, Dionysus, Zeus's wild child. In this tale, we follow Dionysus, the god of wine, revelry, and transformation, born of Zeus and the mortal Semele. Raised by nymphs far from Olympus, Dionysus grows into a figure of joy and abandon, but also of mystery and depth, wandering lands both mortal and divine. With the gift of wine, he brings mortals comfort, release, and sometimes madness, a god both feared and loved, as changeable as the seas and as free as the open skies. As we enter this story of wild spirit and unbound freedom, allow yourself to settle fully into the comfort of your bed, feeling safe, warm, and deeply supported. Close your eyes if you wish, and take a slow, deep breath in, letting calm and ease spread through your chest and body. As you exhale, release any tension, letting your body grow heavy, sinking into a place of rest and stillness. This time is yours to unwind, to let go, and to journey into peace. Focus now on the steady rhythm of your breath, each inhale and exhale like the gentle sway of a leaf caught in a soft breeze. Take a slightly deeper breath in, filling your lungs fully, and hold it softly for a moment. Then, as you exhale, imagine any tightness drifting away, leaving only warmth and comfort. One more time, breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel yourself sinking even further, completely at peace. Now let's guide each part of the body to relax, inviting calmness with each breath. Start with your forehead, letting it soften completely as you exhale. Move to your jaw, allowing it to release, resting easily, with no strain. Now bring awareness to your shoulders. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let them fall gently, as though settling like petals on a quiet river. Allow your arms and hands to grow heavy, resting peacefully by your sides. Notice the gentle rise and fall in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises, and on the exhale, releasing any last bits of tension, feeling free and light. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, letting them sink further into the bed, fully supported and relaxed. And finally, bring attention to your calves, feet, and toes, letting them release completely, grounded and serene. Now imagine yourself in a lush, hidden glade where wildflowers grow in abundance, and the air is filled with the scent of ripened grapes. In the center of the glade stands Dionysus, crowned with ivy, his eyes bright with the joy and mystery of life. He lifts a cup, laughing as he shares its gift with those who gather around him, mortals and gods alike, their hearts lifted in the magic of the moment, carefree under the boundless sky. With each breath, feel yourself surrounded by this wild, joyful energy, as though you, stand among those celebrating in the glade. Inhale deeply, letting the warmth and freedom fill you, and exhale, feeling calm, steady, and completely at ease. With your body relaxed and your mind open, allow the story to guide you into this world of joy, revelry, and quiet release, where life flows free as the rivers and joy lingers like morning mist. Take one last deep breath in and let it out softly. Now, let us begin. Dionysus' story began in a time of sorrow and danger. He was born to the mortal princess Semele, a woman who had captivated Zeus's heart. But their union would end in tragedy when, urged by Hera's deceitful suggestion, Semele asked Zeus to reveal himself in his true, divine form. Unable to refuse her request, Zeus appeared in all his celestial glory, and Semele, unable to withstand the power of his presence, was consumed in a blaze of divine fire. In the midst of her final moments, Zeus acted quickly, saving their unborn child by sewing him into his own thigh. There, within the god himself, Dionysus continued to grow, nurtured by his father's power until he was ready to be born a second time. This miraculous rebirth marked Dionysus as a god, yet one who would forever retain his connection to the mortal world. He became known as the twice-born, a figure of dual nature who moved freely between realms, a god of boundaries, transformation, and the mysteries of life and death. From his earliest days, Dionysus embodied freedom, joy, and the wild abandon that lay beyond civilization's constraints. He was the god of wine, revelry, and ecstasy, a deity who celebrated life's pleasures and embraced its mysteries. His followers were drawn to his boundless energy, his ability to stir emotions and dissolve boundaries, creating unity among all who gathered in his name. To Dionysus, life was to be lived to the fullest, and he shared this philosophy with mortals through the gift of wine. Wine, as Dionysus gifted it to humanity, became more than just a drink. It was a doorway to altered states, a bridge between the ordinary and the divine. In a cup of wine, mortals could find joy, release, and a taste of freedom from their everyday struggles. Dionysus taught that wine could bring joy, but also sorrow, heightening the complexity of life and inspiring mortals to embrace all facets of existence. Yet his influence extended beyond mere celebration. Dionysus's revels often brought with them a sense of transformation, as those who followed him experienced an ecstasy that transcended mortal concerns. He taught his followers to dance with abandon, to sing with raw emotion, to laugh, weep, and live without fear of judgment. In him they found liberation, a reminder of the wild and untamed nature that lay hidden within. Dionysus's followers formed a unique community, bound by their devotion to the god of wine and liberation. His worshippers, known as the Maenads or Bacchae, abandoned societal constraints to follow him, celebrating life in ways that defied tradition and order. Clad in animal skins and adorned with ivy crowns, the Maenads danced in the wilderness, their voices echoing through forests and hills as they celebrated their god with wild abandon. Among the gods, Dionysus's worship was controversial, his revelries often seen as a challenge to the order upheld by Zeus and the structure of Olympus. Some gods looked down on his followers, seeing them as wild and unpredictable, while others were wary of Dionysus's growing influence among mortals. But his power could not be denied, for his followers' devotion ran deep, and the ecstasy they experienced in his name transcended the limitations of mortal life. Dionysus's cult represented freedom in its purest form, a life lived without restraint or fear of judgment. In worshiping Dionysus, his followers embraced both the joy and chaos he embodied, finding solace in a world where they could express the fullness of their emotions and desires. For them, Dionysus was not only a god, but a guide to a life lived without boundaries. Dionysus's love of freedom often put him in direct conflict with the structures and rulers of the mortal world. His arrival in cities was frequently met with skepticism and resistance, as kings and leaders saw his influence as a threat to their control. One such king, Pentheus of Thebes, openly rejected Dionysus and his followers, forbidding his people from joining the revelries and dismissing Dionysus as a false god. Angered by this disrespect, Dionysus decided to teach Pentheus, a laced son, about the dangers of denying the divine. Disguised as a mortal, Dionysus lured Pentheus into joining his followers in the wilderness, promising him a glimpse into their secret rituals. But as Pentheus observed the Maenads, the women, including his own mother, fell into a trance of frenzy, mistaking him for a wild beast and attacking him in their ecstasy. The tragic end of Pentheus served as a reminder of Dionysus's power, warning mortals of the consequences of denying the divine and attempting to control the uncontrollable. To Zeus, Dionysus's actions represented both a source of pride and a challenge. While he admired his son's strength and influence, he knew that Dionysus's love for freedom and disregard for authority could cause unrest. Dionysus's rebellious nature was a reminder that even the gods could embody forces that defied structure and convention. Though he was Zeus's son, Dionysus's acceptance into Olympus was not immediate. His dual nature as both god and mortal born set him apart, and his penchant for defying boundaries made the gods wary of embracing him. Yet through his own trials and persistence, Dionysus earned his place among the Olympians, proving that his power and influence were undeniable. One of his most defining trials came during his descent into the underworld to rescue his mortal mother, Semele. He ventured into the dark realm, navigating the shadows and the barriers of death itself to bring her spirit back. This act of devotion demonstrated his loyalty to those he loved and his willingness to face the unknown, even the feared domain of Hades. With Zeus's blessing, Dionysus succeeded in bringing Semele to Olympus, where she was granted immortality, her place secured alongside the gods. With his mother by his side, Dionysus took his place in Olympus as an equal among the gods. His triumph affirmed that, despite his unconventional origins, he belonged within the divine pantheon. Zeus welcomed him fully, seeing in his son a strength that came not only from power, but from the resilience born of struggle. In bringing Semele to Olympus, Dionysus bridged the mortal and immortal worlds, embodying a love that defied even death. Dionysus's influence left an indelible mark on both Olympus and the mortal world. To mortals, he became a symbol of liberation and joy, a god who offered release from the burdens of life and allowed them to express the fullness of their humanity. His worship inspired art, music, dance, and theater, leaving behind a legacy of creativity and celebration that would shape cultures for centuries. In Olympia, his presence brought a reminder of the value of freedom and individuality. Though his nature was often unpredictable, Dionysus showed the gods that true strength lay not just in order, but in embracing the chaos that was part of existence. His revelries were a reminder that life's mysteries, joys, and sorrows were to be embraced, not hidden away. Through Dionysus, the gods saw a reflection of mortal desires and learned to respect the power of expression and transformation. For Zeus, Dionysus was a son who defied expectations, a child who thrived on the very chaos that Olympus often sought to control. He recognized that Dionysus brought something essential to the pantheon, a reminder that even the gods could benefit from the freedom to live unrestrained. Zeus honored his son's uniqueness, understanding that Dionysus's path, though different, was no less worthy. Dionysus's legacy continued in the hearts of those who gathered to celebrate his spirit. Mortals sang songs, danced in his honor, and drank from cups filled with wine, finding freedom and connection through the rituals he inspired. His festivals, the Dionysia, became a celebration of art, theater, and community, a time when the rules of society faded and people gathered to honor life's mysteries and beauty. In the night sky, mortals looked up and saw the stars that shone brightly over Dionysus's feasts, feeling his presence in the warmth of laughter and the depths of shared joy. For them, he was not just a god of wine, but a god of life in all its facets, joy and sorrow, love and loss, order and chaos. His revelries echoed through the ages, a call to embrace the full spectrum of human experience. a dance that would continue for as long as there were hearts willing to join. Dionysus's spirit was eternal, an invitation to live boldly, to find beauty and freedom, and to honor the mysteries that lay in every soul. But Zeus's children were not all born from tragedy and revelry. Join us in the next episode as we delve into the story of Hercules, a mortal son with the strength of the gods and a heart bound to both worlds. Witness the trials, triumphs, and sacrifices of the hero who would defy his fate and ascend to a place among the immortals. Until we meet again, may your path be filled with peace, strength, and a touch of magic. I'm young Homer, and I look forward to our next story together.